The woman in black. In midst of the hustle and bustle of thousands of people coming and going towards the metro depot, I tried to locate her. As per the conversation I had with her, she said that she would be dressed in black net dress with a red stole. I rechecked the time on my watch and it was the 5th time I had done that since I arrived at the metro station 2 hours ago. As more and more people swept by, I decided to find a quiet place to sit quietly for some time. I strolled towards the exit gate and sat on the stairs. Now let me briefly introduce myself. I am Sanvi, though it sounds a strange name for a girl like me. The meaning of my name is Goddess Lakshmi, however I am from a poor family. My family resides in a remote village in Uttar Pradesh and I have a younger brother and 2 elder sisters. My father is a farmer and works hard to make both ends meet. I wanted to study and go to school but hardly had the funds to support myself. However, maybe I was lucky. At one point of time an NGO came to our village and supported us for our education. I completed my 12th class last year and came to Delhi in search of a job. However, it was not an easy task to get a job easily. Each day was a struggle in the city. One day an article caught my attention: young girls required for a qualified job. Salary is negotiable in case you are selected. I saw a phone number mentioned and called at this number. A lady answered. She was high-pitched but answered politely. She said that I need to accomplish a task and if I am able to meet the target then I will be paid a handsome salary. However, only thing is I am not supposed to ask her any questions about the task. At that point of time I was jobless and agreed. She selected a weird destination for the meeting, the metro station. As I reflected, I realized it could be anything starting from kidnapping, murder or any illegal activity. I woke up from my thoughts as someone tapped my back. It was a woman in black net dress with a red stole. She was a middle-aged woman but had class and taste. Strong Italian perfume shrouded her as she asked, "Are you Sanvi?" Before I could reply, she seized my hand and led me through the exit gate. A black car with a chauffeur was awaiting. She almost dragged me inside the car. The car started to its unknown destination. The car traveled through unknown roads, huge buildings, crowded streets, and I dozed off at times. I was hungry and thirsty at the same time and smiled at her when she handed me a bottle of water. However, she looked cold and remote, a matter-of-fact businessman sort of attitude. At last the car screeched to a halt near an ancient building. The door opened and an old man servant opened the gate of the car. The lady went inside the house accompanied by me. At one time it was a splendid house, but with time it had lost its glamour. I sat on the sofa and she sat opposite me. She gazed at me from head to toe as if studying if I could accomplish the task. A strange thought passed my mind: if she was dragging me to prostitution. I shivered at the thought. Finally she spoke. "I know you need a job desperately. Hope you know housekeeping and cooking. You need to work at a homestay in Himachal Pradesh. The owner of the homestay is a man named Neeraj. He is the manager as well. He has some helpers. 2 to 3 families come to stay there every season. You will receive a salary of 12,000 along with food and accommodation. However, the reason why I hired you is very different. There is a specific family that comes to spend their vacation every season from Delhi. Mr. Mirza and his family. His family consists of his wife, who is a lady of class and dignity. Mr. Mirza is an attorney and well versed in the field of law. The reason why I am sending you there is to keep an eye on Mr. Mirza, what he does, where he goes, and with whom he spends his time. I will provide you a smartphone and you can capture photographs which you think is important. You will be paid extra for this. Let me tell you in case you feel that I have not warned you, the man is dangerous." The last sentence rang into my ears, yet I agreed. I wished I had quit then and gone back home, but the salary was too much for me to resist. Things went so fast I hardly understood when my bags were packed and loaded on a car. The driver sat next to me and the trip started. The hustle and bustle of the city life gradually subsided to hills and valleys. The driver was strictly professional. He did not speak a single word in the entire trip, as if he was instructed to do so. I dozed off as the car headed on towards Solana district in Himachal. The driver tapped on the glass window next morning and informed me that I had reached my destination. It was a beautiful hotel with a beautiful hillside view. Homestay was written in bold letters near the entrance of the hotel. I took my luggage and headed towards the reception. A very young lad of around 20 years approached me with a smile and introduced himself as Neeraj, the owner of the hotel. I was expecting an aged person, however, smiled back and acknowledged the greeting. He guided me towards the guest room and told me to freshen up and then come for breakfast. I locked the door. The room was lovely. It was a huge room for a girl like me. I opened the curtains and the beautiful hills and valleys greeted me. It was indeed a beautiful place, and nothing bad could happen in such a place. God's grace is there. After freshening up, I came down for breakfast. Mr. Neeraj was already waiting for me at the breakfast table. He discussed with me my job. I need to attend to the guests, show them their room, attend to their basic needs and make their stay comfortable. I would be open to make any changes on the arrangement. I was happy with the job and secretly thought that if the woman in black had not assigned me the task to keep a track on Mr. Mirza, things would have been more interesting. I smiled back at Mr. Neeraj and assured him that I would try my best to meet his expectations and do justice to the job. Mr. Neeraj said that I can take rest today and resume my duties from tomorrow. He also handed me a phone and said that I could use it as long and I continue my job here. I thanked him and went back to the guest room. In the afternoon, I strolled around the homestay. There was a single family in the hotel, Mr. and Mrs. Kumar with their 5-year-old daughter Ria. They were a pleasant couple and greeted me as they meet me in the garden. Beside me there was the gardener Mohan, the cook Mega and the waiter Bulbul. The season was approaching and snowfall will start within a month, and already there was booking for the 2 other rooms. I opened the register and saw Mr. Mirza had booked one of the rooms. The other room was booked by a lady named Sa. As evening faded and the sun set beside the hills, I turned to go back to my room. I saw someone peeping at me through the curtain. As I came near the entrance, Mr. Neeraj met me. His smile was friendly as usual. "Let's have a cup of coffee if you are not in a hurry." I accompanied him to the wooden chair below the umbrella. It was beautiful to look at the view from there. Mr. Neeraj informed me that his father had set up a chain of hotels in Himachal Pradesh and he takes care of the other hotels. Neeraj had been given the responsibility to take care of this hotel since January and he is trying his best to do his job well. I replied, "Do not worry, you are doing a wonderful job. Things are very organized and I am sure the guests would love to spend few quiet evenings here." He asked about my life in Delhi and I gave him a few details, excluding the mentioning about the lady in black. Before he could ask further questions, I excused myself and went back to my room. The next morning I awoke as my phone rang for the first time. It was the woman in black and she informed me Mr. Mirza would arrive the next morning. I replied that I would get on with the work that she had assigned me. The next morning Mr. Mirza arrived with his beautiful blonde wife. As they entered the reception, I welcomed them and led them to their assigned room. Mr. Mirza looked a middle-aged handsome man of 40. His wife was dressed elegantly and looked much younger to him. I returned to the reception and saw a very beautiful woman at the reception waiting with a black-colored huge suitcase. I realized that she is the woman who had booked the adjoining room. I greeted her with a warm smile. Then I led her to her room. I noticed her suitcase was exceptionally large. If she had come for a short duration, I wondered how much clothing she carried, though it was none of my business. After I left her, I went near Mr. Mirza's room. They were speaking in loud voices as if arguing with each other. Mrs. said, "At least when you come for a vacation, refrain from taking to the slut who seems the sole interest of your existence." Mr. Mirza tried to assure that it was a business call. I tiptoed to the reception. So I guess it was a third-party situation and there was the other woman involved. Mrs. Mirza looked sophisticated and I wondered why Mr. Mirza would go for the other woman. I kept an eye on them. They pretended to be a very happy couple, but they were not. The next morning I woke up with the phone ringing. It was the woman in black. I told her whatever I knew and she told me to keep a close eye on Mr. Mirza if he went out. I did accordingly. I started the day being at the reception as usual. I saw Shaina, the beautiful lady who arrived that day. The next evening Mr. Neeraj, a police officer, me and the woman in black hid ourselves near the lake around 5 p.m. After some time we say Mr. and Mrs. Mirza walking towards the lake. As they almost reached the lake, Mr. Mirza suddenly took out a gun. Before he could do anything, we came out of our hiding places. The policeman arrested Mr. Mirza while we took Mrs. Mirza safely to the hotel. Shaina had already checked out and probably she planned to meet Mr. Mirza on the way. The policeman nabbed her and both she and Mr. Mirza were taken to the police station. It also came out that they supplied drugs and ran a business in Delhi. The woman in black paid me handsomely and congratulated me that I had helped her in solving the case. Then she asked me if I would prefer to continue working here or work on a new case with her in Delhi. I thought for some time and told her that I would prefer to work with her and help her solving the cases in days to come. So I finally got a reputed job and home. I bade goodbye to Mr. Neeraj and could see the gleam of sadness in his eyes as I left for Delhi in the car. I viewed the setting sun as the homestay moved further and further away from my sight as the car moved away. I went back to my room and wondered what I should do. I had to call the woman in black without further delay. I called her and informed her about the envelope and the plan that will be executed on 10th of this month. The lady in black told me that she will be there in Shimla by 10th and together we will go to the place. I was much relieved. The next few days I followed Mr. Mirza, but he did not speak to Cheyenne and pretended as if he did not know her. Finally the woman in black arrived on 9th as promised. In the evening she called me to her room. I saw Mr. Neeraj also sitting there. They greeted me as I entered. The woman in black finally revealed the truth. She was a detective working on the strange case of Mr. Mirza. Mrs. Mirza had hired her as she felt her life was not safe as she had a huge property and if she died Mr. Mirza would inherit the entire property. Things now got crystal clear, so the woman in black hired me to keep a tab on Mr. Mirza. The next evening Mr. Neeraj, a police officer, me and the woman in black hid ourselves near the lake around 5 p.m. After some time we say Mr. and Mrs. Mirza walking towards the lake. As they almost reached the lake Mr. Mirza suddenly took out a gun. Before he could do anything we came out of our hiding places. The policeman arrested Mr. Mirza while we took Mrs. Mirza safely to the hotel. Cheyenne had already checked out and probably she planned to meet Mr. Mirza on the way. The policeman nabbed her and both she and Mr. Mirza were taken to the police station. It also came out that they supplied drugs and ran a business in Delhi. The woman in black paid me handsomely and congratulated me that I had helped her in solving the case. Then she asked me if I would prefer to continue working here or work on a new case with her in Delhi. I thought for some time and told her that I would prefer to work with her and help her solving the cases in days to come. So I finally got a reputed job and home. I bade goodbye to Mr. Neeraj and could see the gleam of sadness in his eyes as I left for Delhi in the car. I viewed the setting sun as the homestay moved further and further away from my sight as the car moved away.